which is very different from Southern hospitality. The president will be booked and processed in a decrepit jailhouse. No special allowances are being made for him, unlike the other three criminal indictments.
The former president has entered into consent bond, which means that he will definitely be released and not spend a night in an Atlanta jail. None of the other cases required Trump to condition his release by paying a bond. Georgia set bail at $200,000. Your top local story, new information about the shooter who opened fire at a popular biker bar in Orange County here in California on Wednesday night last night, killing 3 victims, injuring 6 more before he was shot and killed. Alex Stone has the details.
Police in Ventura, 2.5 hours away from the mass shooting scene, confirmed the shooter, John Snowling, was a police officer there from 1984 until his retirement in 2014. He left the department at the rank of sergeant. It's believed he went to the bar targeting his ex-wife. Sources say she was shot in the jaw and is critically injured. What's unclear is why Snowling shot others in and around the bar before he was shot and killed by responding Orange County deputies. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Let's get more news now with KPK's Joe Michaels.
City Kaiser Permanente employees are considering a strike, one that could become the largest in the nation's history. The coalition of Kaiser Permanente unions, which represents more than 85,000 healthcare workers, are calling on Kaiser to fix unsafe staffing levels and unfair labor practices. They'll hold a strike authorization vote this Saturday unless a settlement is reached. The strike could happen as soon as October 1st. California is just one of 7 states that could be impacted if the strike is authorized by the coalition. Kaiser and the coalition last negotiating a contract in 2019. The city of Elk Grove
approaching a railroad crossing.
$1 million boost to its budget starting this year, thanks to a 2016 agreement between the city and the Wilton Rancheria. KFBK's Matt Pacini has more.
Sky River Casino in Elk Grove just celebrated its 1-year anniversary, and with that starts the yearly payments for services to the city. The Wilton Rancheria, the tribe that owns the casino, made the first payments to the city of Elk Grove last night at the city council meeting. The quarterly payments of $1 million will be paid over the next 20 years for a total of $132 million. The money will go to things like police and road maintenance. Matt Pacini, KFBK, Sacramento's News Radio.
Several West Coast companies are paying up after a settlement with the Environmental Protection Agencies. 4 auto parts companies in California, 1 in Oregon, 1 in Washington State, and a company in New Jersey illegally sold defeat device products that alter vehicle emission control systems. Diamond Eye Manufacturing out of Athena, Oregon had the most egregious list of violations, totaling over 33,000 parts sold between 2017 and 2019. Penalties range from $15,000 to $265,000 for Diamond Eye. Several of the firms are paying reduced penalties because of a demonstrated inability to pay. Now, on August 1st, utilities of Roseville-based Sinister Manufacturing, known as Sinister Diesel, pleaded guilty to criminal charges in federal court. They agreed to pay a total of $1 million in criminal and civil penalties after selling tens of thousands of vehicles which defeat the emissions control hardware. Maui County is now suing the island's power company, claiming its actions allowed wildfires to explode on the island this month. The one that hit Lahaina, killing at least 115 people. They claim Hawaiian Electric was negligent for not de-energizing power lines when 80-mile-an-hour winds
approaching a railroad crossing.
The new lawsuit claims the energized lines went down and started the wildfires that broke out on Maui. No official cause has been determined yet, but from the start, images of downed power lines led many to believe the fires were started by lines going down. It's 4:06 on the KFBK Afternoon News with Kitty O'Neill.
All right, Joe, thank you. And a milestone for tech and neuroscience. A woman unable to speak for nearly 20 years has regained that ability thanks to artificial intelligence. Ann Johnson had a paralyzing stroke in 2005. She was 30 years old and the mother of 2 young kids. Now, a team of doctors and researchers at the University of California, San Francisco, and UC Berkeley have discovered a way to use Ann's brain signals and translate them into words, along with movements and facial expressions using AI. The technology relies on an implant containing 253 electrodes placed on the surface of Johnson's brain. UCSF UC Berkeley bioengineering PhD student Sean Metzger explains more how that works.
We have electrodes that sit on the surface of Anne's brain. When she tries to move her mouth as if she was saying a word or a sentence,
we decode that activity into sound and the avatar movements that correspond to the movements that you would have tried to make.
Metzger says doctors used a clip from Johnson's wedding video to restore her voice to the way it sounded, and saying it was an emotional moment for Johnson to hear her voice again. Really imagine. All right, your poll question today is masks. You may have noticed masks are coming back, at least in some places. For instance, all patients, staff, and visitors at Kaiser Permanente Medical Center in Santa Rosa will have to wear masks again, at least for now, as COVID numbers start to rise. Some businesses and schools are bringing masks back. Are you okay? Bringing out that mask. You still have some. You have to get new ones. So on our Twitter X poll, you can say, yeah, I'm okay with wearing it again, or yes, it helps facilities. That's the place I don't mind. Or no, or do you still wear one? Pound to 50 on your smartphone keyword open mic if you'd like to leave a comment for the program today. So we will get to that coming up. Right now, though, we've got more of your top national and international stories here on KFK News Radio, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Former President Trump is expected to arrive any moment at Georgia's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, where he will go to Fulton County Jail and be arrested on criminal charges for a fourth time.
Even though some supporters of the former president have called on his followers to rally, none of these proceedings has really drawn a big crowd of demonstrators. So there's a mix, but otherwise all's quiet before sheriff's deputies take brief custody of the former president. He will not be free to leave until he is booked, fingerprinted, photographed, has his vital statistics recorded, and then released on a $200,000 bond.
ABC's Aaron Katersky. The suspect in a deadly bar shooting last night in Orange County, California, was a retired police officer who first targeted his estranged wife. Sheriff Don Barnes says John Snowling traveled from Ohio to the bar.
Somebody who was sharing a meal with his ex-wife was also shot at and struck by gunfire. Mr. Snowling, the suspect, then started randomly shooting at patrons within Cook's Corner.
3 people are dead, plus the shooter. 6 others were injured. The mercury hit 100 degrees today in Chicago, but it felt more like 118, tying a heat index high for the city.
It feels like we're wearing a blanket. Like the heat, the amount of humidity is just sitting on my skin, and like you could feel it when you raise your hands. It's just, we're debating jumping in a lake after this.
She tried to beat the heat by rollerblading along the lakefront. The Federal Bureau of Prisons is warning of a scam that targets families of people who are incarcerated. Callers identifying themselves as being from the Bureau ask for money in order to secure pre-release custody. The Bureau says it never contacts individuals for money or personal information. You're listening to ABC News.
Let's get some traffic and weather together right now.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's
do it.
And that's part of that plan.
Yeah.
Hello.
Amazingly. Brought to you by Caltrans. A reminder to be work zone alert right now downtown of the split. It'll be about 18 minutes eastbound Cap City. So yeah, it's really slow already. But no big surprise. Split to Roseville, 12 minutes eastbound 80. Going to Elk Grove, 11 minutes on I-5, and on 99 it's about 15 minutes. And again, nothing unusual there. Downtown to Folsom, 24-minute ride, eastbound 50. Downtown to Woodland, northbound I-5, 21 minutes. By the way, Garden Highway, we have a report of a non-injury collision there, and that is backing things up to the downtown area. Going to Davis is 10 minutes, westbound 80 at the Mace Boulevard, eastbound still very, very slow, almost glacial from 113 until you get to the causeway. After that, speeds pick up nicely. Attention California drivers, remember signs, cones, barricades, and flashing amber lights can only do so much to protect valued Caltrans workers. They need your help.
Yeah.